Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And webheads, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you know what it's called, right? After the Poll. That's right, guys. This is episode 27, and this is the journey to the Joker War. That's right, guys. Welcome to the show. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy the show. I think it's going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about Batman. And we're going to be talking about that journey to the Joker War, kind of like what you expect out of Joker War. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun show, right? So first off, the other things that we're going to be talking about today besides the Joker War, guys, is that we're going to be talking about a quick little topic with Brian Michael Bendis and Superman. Okay, and then we're going to be talking about some of the other comic books that came out besides Batman 92. We're going to be talking about Stealth issue 2 from Image Comics, which is kind of cool, right? We're going to be talking about Daredevil issue 2. That's the Inferno Part 2. Then we're going to be talking about Legion issue 6. So we're going to be talking about that book, and we're going to be talking about the Gold Lantern Corps there. So that's going to be quite interesting. And then we're going to be talking about our Batman stuff. So we're going to be talking about the Nightwing issue 70. We're going to be talking about, yes, Batman issue 92, like I said. And then we're going to be talking about the origin of Punchline, which takes place in the Joker 80th anniversary super 100-page spectacular. That's right, guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm curious to hear what you guys are going to think about this. So let's got a couple comments here. I want to welcome the people that are on the show. Guys, if you want to comment, feel free. Say anything that you want to say. Just keep it clean, okay? All right, so we have the Retro Cave Comics is on the show, and he's waving and he says hello, so welcome. We have Disturbed Bed Chick 89 that says, hey. Comic Universal is on the show, and he says, hey, Mike. Camille28 says, hey, Mike. Comic Universal's on the show, says hi. And then we have Aggressively Relaxing is on the show, so welcome. And Comics Universal asked the first question and says, anyone read Batman Secret Files issue 3? It showed Joker recruiting Deathstroke for his attack on Gotham. He talks about Joker War. Punchline is also in it. That's cool. Steve White says hello. Matthew is on. He says hi. Detective Comics 1027 is another $10 comic for September. Why? I have no idea. So if you want to explain yourself, Matthew, go ahead. You can put it in the comments below. All right. So, guys, also, quick little notes here. You know what you got to do. If you haven't already, subscribe, which most of you that are watching this show have already subscribed to the channel. But most importantly, give this live stream a like, okay? So it lets people know that After the Poll exists, along with my other videos, so the channel can continue to grow. Don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications from me or any other content from me. And I've been posting a lot of stuff on the community page as well, with comic covers and stuff like that. And the thing that's absolutely for free, which I think the group is growing at a pretty good rate, and it's a lot of fun. Join my Facebook group page, okay? It's called Comic Book Corner 2.0 Webheads Unite. It has a thing going where pretty much what we do is we share our collection on there, our comic books, whether it's old, whether it's new. We post pictures on there. We share each other's hauls. It's really cool to see everyone's comics out there. So, and then when the new comic book day comes around, they share all their hauls, and it's it's so much fun to see that. So it's absolutely free. Join it. Let's get that community to grow over there. I think it's like 156 or 7 strong now since I launched it like a little while ago. So yeah, it's really good. And then if you want to show that extra love and support to the channel that really truly makes the channel grow, you can hit that join button, as it will give you extra perks, extra content for a low price, as low as 99 cents a month. So there's all that great stuff, all that promotional nonsense. So let's move forward here. Let's see who else we got on here. Aggressively Relaxing says the Facebook group has been great. So he is on there, so thank you. And EF Music says, so annoyed I might have to wait till next week to read all my books. That is unfortunate. The one thing I want to ask you guys, okay, because based off of my comic book haul, I actually got a lot of people saying they did not receive DC Comics at their shop, or they did not receive Batman issue 92 at their shop, or they were missing some of their DC Comics. I want to know who didn't get their comics. And I know that we're having a transition now between Diamond and some of the other distribution companies, whoever it is that is providing. And I would say that probably part of the reason why your shop maybe didn't get those comic books is they didn't sign up with those other distributors. And now DC has left Diamond, and it's going to cause problems for a little while until your shop gets things situated with the new distributors. So we'll see what happens like that. All right, so let's see. Rocco Black Ops 777. My shop had all the DC show ups, which was great. My shop did too. When coronavirus hit, they joined Lunar right away. So, and from that point on, that's who they were going with. So when it came to Diamond distribution with DC, they automatically just stuck with them. So they didn't have to deal with Diamond with DC Comics anymore, at least. So I was able to get all my DC books. Matthew says, I got my DC Comics, but it's DCBS, okay? So discount comic book service. Griffin was able to get all his DC books. F says, I'm from the UK and mine received all theirs, just our mail service is currently messed up. Now, I heard from across the pond over there that a lot of people weren't getting their books because distribution was very messed up. Steve White says, I think DC printed a ton of Batman 92, so not to worry if you did not get it. I think with the main book, you can probably get it. When it comes to the variant, and with the art germ variant, I think you can get it. The 1 in 25 might be the one that might be hard to get, which I got all 3, actually. So hopefully you can get yours. Comics Universal says the problem with DC Comics for the shops was that when DC originally cut with Diamond, when Diamond shut down, so when DC went back to Diamond, they had to reorder all their DC books, so some got lost. Okay, totally get it. There's going to be problems with this, and that's why we're not getting all our books right now, period. Like, that's why there's been all these delays. And that's why books keep getting changed when they're saying, oh, they're coming out this date, but not really. They're getting delayed. So I wasn't even sure if Batman issue 92 was coming out this week. So, yeah, crazy stuff. Let's see. Picked up Gold Lantern also. I did that too. I got Legion. I just have issue Legion 6, and I picked it up. We're going to talk about that later. Aggressively got everything. I got everything. Steve White says, I like the art term variant of Batman 92. It's cool. It's gorgeous. And the cover art in Batman issue 90, the interior art in Batman 92 webheads, it was beautiful. Punchline looks gorgeous. And Harley looked good. Just all the characters. That's top-notch art, man. By March in there, woo, good stuff. Let me tell you. Hope Valley Pub says, I got all my DC books this week, and I finally got Justice League issue 44. Diamond had shorted my shop a few weeks back. So good to get that Justice League in there. Rock on Black Ops says, yeah, I like that art germ variant. Universal says, at Black Ops, that Gold Lantern debut was fire. He made such a bang in his entrance, but we're going to talk about it more, but he did, but it's like a tease, right? Oh my gosh, when it comes to that. Matthew says Batman Secret Files #3, Joker 100-page spectacular, and Batman issue 92. And Mike, you see the Batman 1 in 15 cover for 93 through 100. No, I did not see that. I did not. I'll have to look at it and see. All right, so great question, guys. Great comments. Keep it coming. 1 in 25, he was saying. So let's talk about some of the books, and we'll get into Batman here. So let's talk about a independent book here that came out that I was really anticipating, which was Stealth issue 2. Okay, so we wind up getting. Stealth winds up coming into the picture here. He's a guy that's very sick. He seems like he's got Alzheimer's. In the first issue, he beats his son up because he doesn't realize it's his son. He thinks it's somebody else. And it took me a while to remember what happened in the issue. But when I read issue 2, I was like, okay, now I remember what happened. He beat the shit out of his own son. So I was like, okay. So in the issue, we wind up seeing his son recover in the hospital, whatever the case is, and his dad kind of takes off, does some missions, they meet at home, and you wind up getting the origin story of this character, how he was originated in the 70s and the 80s. He was a fireman, and something bad happened to him in a house fire, and he winds up being recovered by people. They think he's the perfect specimen to wear this suit. So he has this self suit, and there was this little, hole or device in his spine where this suit attaches to him. It bonds to him. It's a part of him, right? And so what happens is his son takes the suit away and says, Dad, you can't be this guy anymore because shit, you're going to hurt somebody. You're sick. And he's like, you're not going to be Stealth until we figure out how to get you better, at least. So is his son going to be the new Stealth in the future? We don't know, but we do get introduced to the villain. I think his name is called Dead Hand, something like that. It's like he's almost like a ripoff off of Black Hand from Green Lantern, because he has this hand that's like all decrepit. But the funny thing is that when he touches somebody, he can get the truth. So he's got like Wonder Woman powers. So he can tell anyone can tell him the truth of stuff that has happened throughout the entire life. It's crazy. And the artwork is kind of good in there. The character, the bad guy, he kind of, reminds me of artwork from like Invincible, but it's not Ryan Otley. It's a very similar art style. But it's a good book. I liked it, and I'm interested for more. The thing is with this book is that it's only 6 issues. It's only 6 issues long. So it's like, will we possibly get an ongoing of this? I would love to see that if this pans out to be a solid series. But definitely it's good to see a superhero book back in Image Comics, and it's not perfect. It's not a goody two shoes book. It's a little rough around the edges. So I liked it. I thought it was a good read. So that's my thoughts of when it comes to Stealth. I definitely recommend it if you guys want to check it out. I don't know if you're going to be able to find issue 1. So, but if you can, go pick it up. If you can't, see if your shop can reorder it. And if you can't do that, then wait for the trade. I think this is going to be a good book. I really do. All right. So let's see, you got a comments in here. Steve White says, my store is very picky on what they are buying, and I have to order my independent books in advance. Anyone have their store not stocking a lot of comics? So my shop is the same way. They don't just get every single independent comic book in. If you want an independent comic after issue 1, let's say, you have to specifically put it on your pull list. And then you got to kind of commit to it. If you say, oh, I don't want it, you got to buy like the next 2 issues or so like that. But they don't keep a high amount of stock. So that's why I don't get like a lot of these other types of independent books. But if I do come across one, I'll be like, guys, order for me, put it on my list. That's why I put all the comics on my pull list from AWA. I want to try them out, see how they are, and I want to guarantee that I get a copy because these books could be very good. All right. So Black Ops 777 says, want to pick up the Art Germ variant on his site with punchline in its kind of price. Want to pick up that Art Germ variant on his site with punchline, and it's kind of pricey though. So I'm curious, Black Ops 777, how much is that variant, the Art Germ variant, being charged? Like, what's the price for it? I'm very curious because at my shop, they only charged me $5 for the Art Germ variant. That's what I paid for it. Now, the 1 in 25 was a different story. I paid a decent amount of money for that book, but I felt like it was worth it because I have a feeling that when it comes to punchline, I think this is a character that's probably going to stick for a little while. And with all the buzz and her interaction with Harley, I think this is going to be a pretty good character. And when a Batman character launches, people get all excited for it anyway. And I wanted to buy it too for the pure reason knowing that if I had the opportunity and I passed it up and it's going to be worth, I'm not saying it's going to be worth thousands of dollars, but if it's worth a couple $100, right? Or if I get it graded in the future, I might be hitting myself going, dude, I could have had that book when it was a pretty affordable at the time. Okay. So, let's see. Steve White says, anyone check out Finger Guns? Yeah, Steve, I checked out Finger Guns last week. I read issue 1, issue 2. I don't want to say it's the perfect comic in the world, but I did like it. It's a different type of story, how these kids have they use their fingers as guns, but yet they have these powers. The power itself, how they use the powers and how they got them, it still needs to be fleshed out, but you're starting to learn about the characters a little bit more and like their family history and that nature. So, but we have a lot more story to tell here. It is an interesting read. Black Ops 777 says 109 for the bundle. So what's in that bundle? Is it like all three? Is it Batman 92, an Art Germ variant of 92? And like what is in that bundle? Like that's what I'm not too sure of. I'm sorry if I'm not understanding you right. I paid cover price for the Art Germ as well, which is good. Frank's on the show. He says, what's up, Spider Slayer? So welcome. So yeah, guys, thanks for all the wonderful comments. Again, give this video a thumbs up. Please let everybody know that it's out there and exists in the world, right? And thank you for the viewers that are watching. Okay, let's move on to another book. Okay, let's move on to Daredevil, issue 2. Issue 20. I think I erased the 0 when I was putting it in my notes. So when it comes to Daredevil issue 20, you guys all recommended it to me. Mike, you gotta read Daredevil. Mike, you gotta read Daredevil. And I said it on many videos that I didn't read the series because I'm not a huge Daredevil fan. I don't know a ton of the character, right? I don't know. There was something about Daredevil. I was like, I don't know. He wears this devil costume. He's blind. I'm like, that's kind of cool. But I was like, I'm not really into him, So, and the only one that I did read was Mark Waid's run, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed that. And then the other ones came out and I didn't like it. And then everyone for months is telling me about Daredevil, and I'm just like, but there was no jumping on point because people were also telling me, yeah, you kind of got to read it from the beginning to kind of get everything that's going on in the story. And they are 100% right. You need to read this book. It reads like a like an independent book, And so when the virus hit, I was like, okay, I'm going to read Daredevil. I am going to do it. And I read issue 19 just yesterday or 2 days ago, and it was great. That Inferno Part 1 story was amazing, right? And we get to see Daredevil's journey, trying to come back from the brink of nothing. and you wind up seeing him gain all his power, not his powers back, but he gains his confidence back. He hooks up with Elektra, and she helps him, but she benefits herself in the process, which was kind of cool. And then you get to see Kingpin's journey as he's become soft, as the mayor of Hell's Kitchen and whatnot. And it's horrible, like I've never seen Kingpin this way. And so seeing those journeys was great. And then at the end of that issue 19, we wind up seeing Sister Elizabeth start freaking out. And I'm like, who is this chick with the crazy hair, right? And I just want to let you guys know, if you haven't read your books, make sure that you read those books. I don't want to spoil anything and then come back. But at that end, in this issue, you wind up realizing that it's Typhoid Mary. And I'm not really familiar with her. I heard of her. I guess she's an assassin that has this she's got this mental problem where she has different personalities, I think. So I'm not too familiar with her, but all of a sudden she comes into the picture and she starts helping. You got Stealth Man in this issue. Or not Stealth Man, I got that confused. Stilt Man, Rhino, Crossbones. They're all doing this battle. Owsley's trying to take over, and it was just this big brawl in this issue, and then you wind up seeing it all end, and it's just like, man, it was just like this big climactic ending to this story. Like I don't know what's going to happen now, but what's going to be next for Kingpin? What's going to be next for Matt Murdock? What's going to be next for Typhoid Mary? Like, there's so much here. I mean, I feel like his story, Zdarsky's story, is just getting started. It's such a great read. And I am sorry that I didn't listen to you guys sooner. It was a phenomenal read. And just Chiquetto's artwork is perfect for this book. And, I read Mark Waid's run, and I read a few other older stuff, but this is the best Daredevil that I've read, because when I was reading it issue after issue after issue after issue, how sometimes you want to take a break from it. No, I just wanted to keep reading it. I think I read the entire series in maybe 2 weeks' time, at a couple hours at a time. So this overall was a great book, and tell me what you guys think of it as a fan. So let's see what we got here. A couple comments. Rock on Block Op 777. It was for the Joker 80th. Okay, so that's part of the deal as well. So that's all of the Joker 80th books. Okay, gotcha now. Comic Universal says the ending to Daredevil with Matt turning himself in was powerful. End to the issue. Also, Fisk was kind of a badass, and I love the way the art almost gave us a play-by-play for Matt in the fight. Yeah, it was really good. It's like, for him to turn himself in was like first class, right? And for Kingpin to go out there and battle by his side was really cool too, but he's doing it because he's the mayor and he's defending his city. And the people that were owning Kingpin, I think Kingpin is somehow going to, come back and kick those guys' ass. But but what happened to him was just insane, dude. It's just, Kingpin got thrown out the freaking window a couple issues back, man. How does anybody survive that shit? If you guys haven't read this, go ahead and read it. It was so good, man. Gosh. That's Chip for you. Yeah, absolutely. Steve White says, I was on the fence as well about the new Daredevil, but I love the series. Now I'm digging for those back issues. I couldn't find any of the back issues. They weren't anywhere to be found at my shop. So that's why I bought the first two trades. And then the third trade wound up getting delayed. So I wound up actually... reading those books online. So yeah, that's how I started reading it, and I just couldn't jump off of it. JLS Jesse, he says hello. What's up, Jesse? Thanks for watching. Hope Valley says have never been interested in Daredevil, but after hearing you talk about it so highly for a while now, might have to check this one out. Yes, because I'm telling you, I'm not the Daredevil guy either, but it's just great writing. I feel like Zdarsky wrote a great Fantastic Four book a while ago, and that's where you got to see him really start to shine. Then he took over, was it Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, and I felt like that book was okay, but I felt like he couldn't do what he really wanted to do with it. And then Tom Taylor took over the Spider-Man book, and I felt like he couldn't do what he wanted to do with it. So it's just like, so Zdarsky's like, okay, I'll take over Daredevil because this is the street level character that I want, and this is what I can do. So I feel like Zdarsky got screwed over a couple times. Like, he couldn't finish Fantastic Four the way he wanted, especially when he maybe found out that Dan Slott was going to take over the main book. And then Spider-Man, again, couldn't do what he wanted. So, but finally, Zdarsky gets what he wants with Daredevil, and it's good. So great stuff, man. All right. Frank goes, how do you feel about Peter Parker having a sister? I think it's dumb. That's all I can say. Like, I feel like Marvel has this agenda when it comes to Peter Parker's sister, and it's just like, let's keep reminding you that she's there, that she's part of Peter Parker's life. It's such a forced character. It's not even funny. And she was forced recently in The Amazing Spider-Man when they were dealing with the whole, was it the 2099 situation? Yeah, that, I don't like it. I just don't. It's not my thing. Maybe I'm just old school that way, but I don't like it. For me, let's see. For me, this is another Immortal Hulk type of book. Something that is going under the radar and will blow up. Immortal Hulk is good, and this is good. But everyone that reads it tells me it's awesome. All right. Frank says, LOL, agree, could do without the sister. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Thank you for all the great comments. This is a great show. I'm having a lot of fun. And so let's talk about another book before we dive into this whole Joker nonsense. Oh, we'll talk about Legion real quick, and then I want to talk about Brian Michael Bendis because I skipped over that on the agenda. So Legion issue 6, I haven't read it since issue 1, but when I heard about the Gold Lantern Corps, okay, I'm like, Gold Lantern Corps. This is what Brian Michael Bendis is going to do next. He's going to be the next writer of Green Lantern. He's going to take over the entire spectrum of the Green Lantern universe, and he's adding Gold Lantern. Okay, that was my worst case scenario. Probably the best case scenario here is that we're going to get a Gold Lantern Corps book. My issue, though, is if we do get a Gold Lantern Corps book, I need to see my Green Lantern Corps back. And I want Green Lantern Hal Jordan to have his own, I want him to have his own book with a different writer. I'm not a fan of Grant Morrison here. But when it comes to Legion, that book, I don't truly understand what was going on. There's a lot of characters. There's like Superboy, there's like Satin Girl, there's this like monster guy, and which he's kind of cool because he can turn to any monster he wants. And they're trying to get this trident, and they're saving it. They're trying to get it back so they can save Earth because Earth is dying. Brainiac 5 is trying to evacuate Earth, and we see Gold Lantern, which we don't know his name, come in. He zips by Satin Girl and Superboy when they're going to attack, and he's like, I got this, guys. I'm the Gold Lantern Corps from this galaxy. He just pops out of nowhere. And and they're just like, yeah, did you hear about this? He's got a story to tell, and wait till you hear it. That's it. That's all you hear from him. He just does this one little power beam thing, and he's gone. When are we going to see him again? I don't know. But this is his first appearance. And so that makes it a key book. When are we going to get a story of this character? Do I pick up the next issue of Legion to see if he shows up there? I don't know, but I'm curious to see what this guy is, if they're going to make an ongoing of this, if this is Brian Michael Bendis' next ploy at, a core character. I don't know, but it's weird. Like, what other color lanterns can we actually have? So do you guys want to see a Gold Lantern core? Do you want to know who this character is? Me being a Green Lantern fan, I'm like invested in this, because if you guys don't know this, my favorite DC character is Green Lantern, and I think it's probably Kyle Rayner is my favorite Green Lantern, and then it's Al Jordan. But DC overall, the Green Lanterns are my favorite characters. Then it's Batman. So it comes in that order, because when I was younger, the only DC comics I did read was Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, and I really enjoyed that series. So that's how I got into Parallax and all that. That was my history there. So I'm very curious to see what's going on there when it comes to the Gold Lantern. But that's it. So if you can't get this book, if you're trying to get this book for the story, the reading wise of how the Gold Lantern guy got there, that's all it was. So it's nothing spectacular, nothing amazing, no pun intended. He just shows up, and that's it. Now, if you're looking forward to collect it for a key or a spec book or whatever that case may be, good luck in finding it. You might find it online and see what happens. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so Frank goes, okay, we got that one. Just to the basics is like, pizza time, bro. So we Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtling it right now. All right, Steve says, first Gold Hulk, now Gold Lantern. I heard about that Gold Hulk thing. Is that took place in the Avengers book from IDW? Am I correct about that? And what is up with 2020, year of the gold characters? Hey man, we're running out of colors, so we got to do gold, right? Tubby is on his show. He says, "What's up? I just got back from the PSO, so they revealed the PlayStation 5, so that's cool." And he agrees that the Gold Lantern was a complete waste of time. No, I don't think it was a waste of time, because in comics we get this all the time. We get cameos, we get first appearances, and whatnot. And I just wanted a little bit more story when it came to the character, right? My thing is now is I just don't know when we're going to get this character again. So that's that. They showed Miles Morales. For what? Universal goes, I love the Gold Lantern debut. Did you notice, though, that he wears a Gold Lantern ring and a Legion ring? So what's up with that? So Comic Universal goes, I think the backstory is coming in the next issue. Okay, so I'll pick up issue 7 then. Okay. All right, guys. So again, I'm going to keep relaying this out through the show. Please give this video or this live stream a like. And if you want to join the Facebook group Comic Book Corner 2.0 Webheads Unite, now's the time to do it. It's absolutely for free to you. That is a group page where we just share our collections. Share your collection. Share your hauls. It's a lot of fun to see what everyone gets. People put their comic on a stand, and they put action figures next to it. They show all the books that they pick up, and I put my hauls on there, and I show a cover a day on there. So again, it's a lot of fun. Go on there and join it. I think there's a link actually below on this channel. If not, then it's on another video, but at least I told you that way. So relaying that message out there to you. All right. Now, let's talk about the next thing, since we're talking about Brian Michael Bendis. So we got the word that Brian Michael Bendis says that I'm coming to the end of my Superman story, right? So we're all getting excited that... Now, let me pause for a second. People that like Brian Michael Bendis Superman, that's great. I'm happy for you. And when he does leave, I'm sorry that he is leaving. And that hopefully you get a team that is equivalent to him, and or if not better, okay? But for the people that don't like him writing Superman, right, I just want to say that this doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. We wind up getting him saying, yeah, I'm coming to the end of my story. But he's like, hold on, not so fast. He's like, you have nothing to worry about. I'm coming to the end of my story, but it's not ending anytime soon. So maybe in his brain, he's coming to the end of his story now, but by the time we get there, it's going to be like 2 years from now, right? So don't hold your breath if Superman is around for a little longer than expected. Sometimes we get this, these comments and we think, oh, Brian Michael Bendis is just doing another story arc and it's over, like in 4 issues. Yeah, that's not the case. So, I think he'll probably be on it. I think he might be on it for another year. I mean, he's introducing this new villain also. So we got to give him time to flesh out that character. He's got to do battle against that character. There's other things going on. Now, I haven't read the book in a while, but yeah, don't expect it to end anytime soon, Superman fans. So just, be patient. Time will tell, when his run will be over. But we'll see what happens. All right, so we got, let's see. Comic Universal says, so Tevye was talking about the new Miles Morales PlayStation 5 game. I guess we saw that. Comics Universal says the PS5 they revealed the Miles Morales game, similar to PS4 game now. That's cool. That's really cool. Frank says, Webheads Unite. I'm on it. Thank you, Frank. And Josh was on the show and he says, hey, Mike. Comic Universal says, hey, Bendis Superman is my favorite book right now. See, like I said, I don't want to dog Bendis and I don't want to dog the fans that like his style of writing for the other fans out there, right? There's people that like his writing, and I am one of them. I just don't feel, for me, I just don't enjoy his Superman right now, okay? Tavia, yes, we know your feelings about Superman. And, we're getting comments that he's doing too much at DC, which I can agree with that. He was the same way at Marvel. He did too much at Marvel. Let's see. Joshua says, I'm feeling better. I have 2 more days left on my quarantine. Yeah, Joshua had coronavirus. So I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad that you're doing well and that you're safe and that you are getting better. Comic Universal, Mike, the new villain in Superman Red Cloud isn't in the Superman book. She is in Action Comics books, which I believe Bendis is staying on for a while. Yeah, he is staying on for a while, but he's adding another new character from what I heard. So we got that. Okay. So now let's talk about some of the Joker War stuff that happened. And it all had to take place in Nightwing, issue 70, Batman, issue 92, and the Joker 80th anniversary issue. So let's talk about Nightwing issue 70. So I haven't read Nightwing all that much, but from what I get is I know that Dick, whatever we want to call him, Dickie Boy, that's what he was named in Nightwing now. That obviously he got shot. He lost his memories. Now there's this Talon crystal that has his personality and whatnot. And in this issue, we see Rick going after the Tusk. The Joker is looking for Rick or Dick, and he comes across his girlfriend. Rick gets to his girlfriend Bea in time. They start fighting each other, and then all of a sudden, Joker has this Talon crystal that he can use to manipulate his personality. So at the end of the issue, you wind up seeing him go, after your parents died, you are coming with me. You were raised by me. And so we see that Joker now is manipulating Dick Grayson. Okay, so the end of this whole Rick Grayson stuff is going to come to an end. It looks like he's going to be under the possession of the Joker, which I think is kind of cool to see that he's got a strong person on his side. And how is Batman actually going to deal with that, right? And how does Dick, break that trance? So when it comes to the overall part of the book, like the beginning of it, it was just like this pointless battle. But at the end of it, you're kind of like, okay, now things are ramping up. Now it's time to jump on Nightwing if you haven't been reading it, because this is, of course, going to tie into the Joker War. And like I said, he's going to team up with the Joker here based off of this Talon crystal or whatnot. The only thing that I don't like about Nightwing right now is that he's just too much of a, like, Daredevil ripoff. Like, he's got the batons, he's got this mask that it's just like the new suit I just didn't dig. I just don't enjoy it. So when I got to the end of it, I'm like, freaking great. We're getting a change. You know, even if he becomes a bad guy for a while, it's better than what we were getting, right? So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to all the Joker War stuff just in general. So, yes. But that was Nightwing for you. So that is kind of the tie-in book there. All right, let's see. Comments here. And again, guys, let's keep the language down to a minimum. I don't want that on here. And we know about Superman and his issues and how you feel, Tevia, so we don't have to keep spamming those comments. Just, let's keep it going when it comes to the current topic, okay? I tried... F Music says, I tried to make my way through the event Leviathan, and I couldn't make it past issue 3. It just sucked, in my opinion. I didn't even try it. It just wasn't for me. Joshua's like, thank you for wishing me on the well wishes, so thank you. So why are they turning Dick Grayson evil again? So they can make him good again. So they can make him Dick Grayson again. So that's why they're doing it, right? Let's see here. Comic Universal says, to Tevia, the new character might be related to Leviathan. Everything that Bendis has done in both Action Comics and Superman has all tied back into Leviathan. Okay. So, let's see. Tevia says, well, didn't we do this before during the whole Year of the Villain crap again? Well, okay. Yes, we have. But let's get Dick back, right? Let's do it. Let's see. Joshua says, I hope to get my comics soon. Good. Okay. And Joshua goes, I can't wait to read Batman again. All right. So next, let's talk about Batman issue 92. Now, a lot of people were excited for this, mainly because this was Punchline's first full appearance. Okay. More than I think the story, it seemed like. And I want to say that the story wasn't super spectacular. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good. It wasn't great. But I felt like not enough happened in the story because we have waited so much time for this issue to come out. And basically what you get is you get Harley and Catwoman together in a tunnel trying to go meet up with the broker guy. I forgot his name. And they do fight against some zombie characters and whatnot. And that's how they meet up with Punchline. And she's just like, oh, these guys can't do good. Now, again, the art in this book is spectacular. I mean, you couldn't get a better artist on this book right now. The facial expressions, the character details, they all look beautiful. I mean, it's amazing. The one thing I did like about this book, though, besides the whole Punchline debut, was Riddler and Batman. I think when he was playing his game, I think that was really well done, as Batman was just answering his questions like it was nothing. Left and right, he answered everything, and the smirk on his face was like, I'm awesome, Riddler, and you suck. He's like saying, I'm Batman in my head, and the Riddler was getting so pissed off. And we get the Bat Train, right? Or the Bat Subway. It was hilarious. So, and then I think Harley and Punchline's interactions was kind of cool too. How she's just like, yeah, give it a few years there, Punchline, because you're going to be crying in the corner. She's just like, she's trying to give her the business a little bit there. And then they start doing battle. So we'll get to see the continuation of the fight in issue 93. We'll get to see, Catwoman do battle against, which looks like Batman do battle against the what's his name, the designer, the grand designer, I think that's his name. And it's going to be an interesting story, and this whole thing leading up to Joker War is going to be really good too. Overall, Batman is a much better book than what it's been. I mean, when Tom King was writing it, Tom King's book was a love story. This is just something that, man, Tinian's just knocking it out of the park. You know, I love everything about it, right? He's been a great writer. His art team is great. He's got everything going for him. He's got new characters that you seem like you're going to care about, and all around it's great stuff. So let's see when we got here. Tevi goes, I'm hoping Rick Grayson stuff ends. Comic Universal says, I agree, Mike, the Batman art is good. Frank says, well, who is doing the art? His name is March. I forget his first name all the time, but his art is freaking good. Hold on, let me see. It's at the end of the book. Someone might say it by the time Gilliam March. Like, if you haven't seen it, like, here is the debut of Punchline. Like, she looks so good, man. Right? And just the details on the character's costume, like their facial expression. Like, look at Harley and Cat's facial expression. Right? I mean, it looks fantastic. And even Batman himself, when he's coming across Riddler here. Right? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Sorry to hold you guys up here. Like, look at Batman's facial expression. He's like, yeah, I'm Batman. You know, and even Riddler looks good. Everything about it. Here's Batman right there. So good stuff. Deathstroke was kind of teaming up with him on there too. So look at Riddler. Just intense, man. Really great stuff. I love the artwork on this book. Here's a good page for Batman and Deathstroke. So yeah, if you guys have not purchased your book, this is the artwork that you're going to get inside of it. So really good stuff there. So the art is great, but I can't wait for George Jimenez. I butchered his name too to take over. Tevi goes, imagine if the designer is Alfred in disguise. Oh my gosh, that would be weird. Comic Universal goes, the Bat Train made me think about other silly Batman stuff like the Bat Shark Repellent, or let us not forget the Bat credit card from Batman and Robin. The Bat Train is pure genius. Yeah, man, when you want to go underground, you're like, give me the Bat Train, Lucius, call it now. Right? Yeah, pretty cool. Is Punchline a trainee? No, she's not. We'll talk about her in a second, actually, because her origin is in the 80th anniversary. Spectacular. It's not, I guess it's kind of an origin story. Joshua says the comic book store said he will hold Batman 92 for me, so when I can get it, that's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Frank says, wow, that looks good. S. March art is very Tony S. Daniel, right? And see, that's where they nailed it out of the park, right? Because Tony S. Daniel was the first artist on this book when Tinian took over. So to have an artist that is very similar to his artwork is perfect. That's what I love when comic books, when these publishers do this. I hate when we get a totally different artist on the same story arc, because you're like, it doesn't even match up, you know? So that's great that they did that. Who would win in a fight, Batman or Deathstroke? Batman, you know that, because he already took him out in this issue. Yeah, Joshua says I vote Batman. Universal goes, Bendis, Campbell, David Walker got nominated for Best Limited Series Eisner Award for the work on Naomi. Hey, Naomi's a good story. Definitely get that. Like, that was a great character he created, and I congratulate them. Tevi goes, Punchline does look interesting. Esau says, do you think Punchline has lived up to the hype as a character, or too soon to tell? I think it's going to be something that we're going to have to yet to be determined. But for her to be working with Joker from the start, I think she's off to a good start. And does anyone know when the Eisner Awards will be awarded? That I'm not sure of. Who would win, Deathstroke or Naomi? I don't know, man. Naomi, I don't know enough about her powers yet. Like, she's powerful, but Deathstroke can heal, so that's tight right there. It's tight race. Tynion Fourth better get an Eisner Award for Batman. Agreed. Naomi was good, but personally, I don't like she appears in other people's books. Yeah, she should just appear in Naomi, not in Young Justice. How was something is killing the children? I might get it. I did not read it yet. The overall first 6 issues are awesome. So I would say get it just based off of that. All right. Great comments, guys. Thank you so much. Again, hit that like button. So let's talk about the Joker 80th anniversary issue. The only story I have read from there so far is how Punchline starts her career of being a villain. Okay, that's what you can say about it. She's not like Harley. She doesn't get deformed in any way or anything like that. She is just a regular girl. Okay, and obviously she has gotten trained and by the Joker and maybe by other people. Okay, but her first deed, and this happens in this 80th anniversary, so you might want to read that, is that, and she's young too. So if you think that her and the Joker are hooking up, maybe, I don't know, but I have a feeling the Joker's got quite of the age difference, because Punchline is a college kid. She's in college, okay? So she can't be more than like 22 years old in this book, all right? So she is a Joker fangirl. That's what she is. That's how it started off as. And she obviously met with the Joker and told him that, hey, I am serious about joining you. I want to be a part of you. I want to be just like you because I believe that the world is not peaches and cream. I believe that there is a world for villains in it as well. And she wants to be a part of that. So to be a part of his clan, she had to take out the dean of her college, and the college is called the College of Snyder, which was awesome, right? And she actually is getting this speech because there's this Heroes Day where she was supposed to wear this hero t-shirt of your favorite hero, and she wears a Joker t-shirt, and she's causing this scare in the college. You know, she's like, oh my God, this girl might be evil. So the dean comes to her and starts talking to her, and she's smoking like a cigarette, and the dean's like, you can't smoke in here. So she blows the smoke in his face, and it's Joker gas. And she gets the serum from online, and she's like, oh, I didn't know if I could make it, and all this other stuff. And she blows it in the face, and he starts laughing. He gets paralyzed by the Joker gas. She dies. And then what happens is she goes, see? She goes, you wanted me to prove myself to you? And this is it. And while he was going through this entire process of the Joker gas situation while he was dying, you get to see her put on the Joker makeup or all her makeup. You get to see her get dressed in her Punchline clothes. And she's like, yeah, I'm the Punchline, you know? So it was a cool introduction to this brand new character. And I think Tynion is really serious about her, and he's determined for her to succeed in this, in the Batman universe. And yeah, it was a good origin story. So hopefully you guys definitely get a chance to a chance to read it and experience it for yourself. But it was a great book. Well, not a great book, but a great story. And I'm still yet to read that Joker 80th anniversary issue. If you're looking for it, it's the second story in the book. Okay. Obviously there's a table of contents in there. You can find it in there. It's probably about 6 or 7 pages, but definitely worth it in my opinion to buy this book for that reason, because if you're looking for an origin tale, this book is going to have some value to it. Now, maybe not as much because there might be a lot of copies because of all the different covers, but that's what you get there out of that. So let's see what we get. Anybody else saying something? How is something killing children? We got that. Action Comics, talking about that. Comic Universal says, I just looked through all the nominations, and Tynion is nominated for an Eisner, but not for Batman. Instead, he is nominated for the Eisner for the best new series for Something is Killing of the Children. Tevi's like, I gotta go. I need to get dinner. All right, bud. Enjoy that dinner, and thank you. But yeah, so those are the books that we were talking about. And like I said, guys, definitely pick up your copy of Joker 80th Anniversary. Pick up your issue of 92 of Batman. And Frank says, I wasn't aware of Punchline, but after hearing that, I'm in. So, Frank, you weren't aware of Punchline as the character? Were you not aware of that little origin tale in there? That's what I'm curious. I think you knew about Punchline, though. But yeah, definitely worth it. And yeah, so those are the books I think I read so far. The other books that I did read was Justice League, which was okay. It wasn't that great. It wasn't as strong as the other issues. And I think the other book that I'm currently reading right now is Black Cat, which is actually kind of cool because it has to deal with Tony Stark, which is that. Okay, so Frank was talking about the origin story, and Lewis goes, what do you think of Old Haunts? I didn't read it yet. So usually when I do this show, I read the highly anticipated books first, so I can create my agenda for this show, so if that makes sense to you. And if I read anything extra, I'll definitely talk about it on the show. But I had my main reads. I wanted this show to be about Batman because this was a really Batman-centered week when it came to comic books, and so that was that. But when it came to Old Haunts, it's on my list. I have about 5 books left to read, but I'll definitely get to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Did you like it, or did you not read it yet? So, but yeah. And guys, before I go, I just want to let you know that if you want to check out the new series that I started, it's called What It's Worth. It's where I show you some of my comic book collection of a certain series, and we find out how much these certain books are worth. And last week I did Sensational She-Hulk, so go ahead and check that out. This time around, I'm going to try to do The Walking Dead. It's been a year, just over a year now, since that series has ended, and I want to see how much my books are now in that collection. So stay tuned for that. That is coming out. And if you haven't checked out Comic Book Cover of the Year for the week, go ahead and check that out, as you can vote for your favorite comic book cover. And it's a totally interactive series. It's for you guys, and that's why I do it. So there you guys have it. There's the show for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had a blast bringing it to you. It is now, 6 o'clock, 6:30. It's time for me to get some dinner as well. I did not check out Batman Secret Files issue 3. I guess I'm going to have to check it out, right? Because you guys keep talking about it, since it has to do with Punchline. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to sign out for the night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Hopefully I will see you next week. And guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your comic books. And I hope you get your comic books. And please be safe out there, guys. And I'll see you next time. Everyone, take care. Thank you very much. Bye.